观众朋友，大家好！今天是2022年9月28号，是伟大的思想家、教育家、儒家学派创始人孔子诞辰2573年纪念日。山东卫视在曲阜孔庙为您现场直播壬寅年公祭孔子大典，我是主持人薛萌。今年公祭孔子大典的主题是“人理天下，和合大同”。那为了更加直观地感受祭孔大典，我们在孔庙内当年孔子教导他的儿子读书学礼的地方诗礼堂设立了第二现场。同时呢，还特别邀请到了山东大学特聘教授、国际儒学联合会副理事长
Professor Yang, a renowned scholar of Confucianism, to tell us more about the ceremony and Confucianism. Good morning, dear viewers. It's my great honor to join you in the live streaming of the ceremony of the worshipping of Confucius. This is one of the grandest ceremony of the school of Confucianism. This ceremony dates back to the Zhou dynasty and also started after the year after Confucius passed away. It is of great artistic and cultural value. Each year at the same time, people from all around the country would come to this temple to worship Confucius, to join the grand ceremony. And now let's talk to our reporter on site. Hello everyone. I'm currently at the temple here, and all of the people have gathered here ready to join the ceremony. And the Temple of Confucius is known to be an important location for cultural education. And here we can see that people are standing ready to join the ceremony. And let us wait and see. The grand ceremony of worshipping of Confucius is officially starting now. Here we can see that people are walking on this road slowly and solemnly, and with the playing of traditional music. We can see that this atmosphere of seriousness and solemn is displayed here. Confucius is not only a great representation of the Chinese culture, his thoughts extended beyond China and to the East and Southeast Asia and even the world. And his thought has made great contribution in making the Chinese culture into one of the 4 cultural circles in the world. And actually the philosophy of rights or propriety is an important part to Confucianism, known as Li in Chinese. And that is also the essence of Chinese culture and even the Oriental culture. Qufu is the hometown to Confucius, and the Confucian temple is, of course, the place to worship Confucius and the other sages of ancient China. And this temple is the temple with the longest history. Also, the other temples involving Guozijian in Beijing and the Confucian temple in Nanjing. In other Eastern Asian countries, including Korea and Japan, there are also temples to worship Confucius. According to available statistics, there are about 2,000 Confucian temples across the world. This year, the Confucian memorial ceremony was also live streaming across the internet platform, so you can join the ceremony even if you cannot physically be here. This is the memorial ceremony held in the Confucian temple in Jilin. With the playing of the ancient music, people seems to be traveling back to ancient times to join the ancient ceremony in memory of Confucius. This is the Confucian's temple in Wenshang, which was built in the Tang Dynasty. This is the second biggest Confucian temple in China. There are about 76 steps to the ceremony. On September the 24th, a grand ceremony in memory of Confucius was held in Shanghai's Confucian Temple. After seeing all of these different ceremonies held in all parts of China, now let's go back to his hometown. Currently, we can see that the people are walking through this pedestrian walk and into the temple. And there will also be dancing and singing performance during the ceremony. The lyrics of the song is mainly about the main principles and thoughts of Confucianism, about kindness, righteousness, justice, propriety, sincerity, and benevolence. So the theme of the singing and dancing performance of this year is very rich in content. So can you tell us more about it? Yes, from the lyrics we can hear that they are singing about the main thoughts of Confucianism. For example, harmony, kindness, benevolence, righteousness. So these words seems to be simple, but they have quite abundant content, and it is actually in accordance with the party's ruling principles. Our aim is to build a harmonious society. And from this ceremony, we can also feel this kind of main thoughts of the Chinese philosophy and culture. After this performance, we will be witnessing the ceremony to open the gate. Now, the gate of the ancient Ming walls, the gate is open now. And the officers will be walking across the gate and onto the path to continue with the celebration. And each time people enter the temple of Confucius, they would have a feeling of the ancient wisdom. You know, they can feel that the wisdom of Confucius still has a great impact and affection on people of modern history. And this kind of harmonious atmosphere is actually a unison of the heaven, the earth, and people. Also, it is the ultimate goal that has been promoted by Confucianism. From ancient times, the Chinese nation promote this kind of kindness, sincerity, and harmony inside the family and the country. So this kind of harmonious order of the family and the country is part of the essence of the Chinese culture. Now we understand the true meaning and essence of Confucianism. Now let's follow the officiator to witness this opening of the temple. Now it's time for us to pay tribute to the ancient sage. Please stand in solemn. And right now it's time to open the gate of the temple. Now the temple gate is open, and the officiators are now walking into the yard of the temple. This is the main gate of the Confucian temple. And now let's talk to our reporter on site. This gate is called the Shengshi Gate, which means, which embodies the meaning that the Actually, Confucius is the envoy of the ancient sages. In the ancient time, only the emperor can walk across the main road, but currently all people can walk from the main entrance and into the temple. And the Temple of Confucius has already become the most important location to worship Confucius and also to popularize the thoughts and philosophy of Confucius. The Temple of Confucius in Beijing, known as Qufu City, is not only the place to worship Confucius, but also an educational institution that was held in ancient China. There is some other important Confucius temple across the country. For example, the one that is established in Jianshui of Yunnan Province. In all of these places, we frequently see activities organized by primary and middle schools. Right now, we are seeing primary school students that are enchanting some of the sayings from the Analects. This part of the Analects are about the importance of learning and also learning from others, and important to know yourself and respect others. So the thoughts of Confucianism includes the teachings of propriety, rights, justice, kindness, sincerity, and righteousness. And according to the Analects, benevolence is very important, and we are all brothers, no matter where we are from. What we just saw is an activity organized by the Confucius Temple in Yunnan. And we can see the enchanting of the excerpts from the Analects by the primary school students. Even if you cannot be here in person, you can always join us online on our live streaming of the memorial ceremony. So, Professor, can you tell us why do Confucian's thoughts and his Analects become classics of the Chinese culture? Well, because he had made major contribution to the Chinese culture, and He is actually a collector, and he called himself only the envoy of the past wisdoms of the sages. And later, after he died, all of the other schools and philosophers were influenced by him. So he really is an important sage in the Chinese history who actually collected the wisdoms of the past and also exert influence on schools and thinkers in his future. So the thoughts of propriety, justice, benevolence, sincerity, and righteousness are the 5 important aspects to his thoughts, which still is the main, is part of the essence of the Chinese culture. Now let's talk to our reporter on site in terms of the next step to the grand ceremony. This gate is called the Dacheng Gate, which is an embodiment of the immense achievement of Confucius. Later, we will hear the ringings of bells, which will signify the most important part to the ceremony. We pray for the harmony of man and nature and harvest of crops, as well as the well-being of the people and the peace of the world. This is the most important step to the ceremony, which is the opening of the gate of the temple. Dear viewers, now we are live streaming from Qufu of Shandong Province on the 2022 memorial ceremony for Confucius. Over the past 2,000 years, the memorial ceremony for Confucius has become an important occasion for us to pay our tribute to this great thinker of ancient China. So, Professor Liang, can you tell us what is the significance of holding such an ancient ceremony in modern times? Well, it's a major manifest for the modern people to remember the ancient sage and also to review his thoughts and the essence of traditional Chinese culture and philosophy. So Confucius is not only a person, a great thinker, but also an embodiment of the essence of the ancient Chinese philosophy. So we believe that the memorial ceremony can serve the function for us to pay tribute to the ancient sage, but also to express our respect to the teachers, to the great teachers of the Chinese history. He's also a role model for us to practice ourselves and to perfect ourselves. This is the main hall, the Dacheng Dian Hall of the Confucian's temple, where the main part of the ceremony will be held. Now we will give the floor to Sun Jiye, the Deputy Governor of Shandong Province. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, today we gather here to celebrate the birthday of Confucius. Now, the first step would be the dancing performance as part of the memorial rituals. Dear viewers, now you are watching the live stream of the 2022 memorial ceremony for Confucius. And now you are watching part of the memorial ritual, which is the dance to memorize Confucius. And this is actually a traditional dance and also a great exemplification for the rites, which is also part of the Confucianism. This particular dance has a series of carefully designed moves, and it has 6 parts to it to represent the different aspects to Confucius' thoughts. For example, his great achievement as a teacher, and also the exemplification for rituals and ethics. Step 2. Now we pay tribute and present flowers to the great thinker, philosopher, and educator Confucius. We give the floor to Qufu City from the provincial government, along with other leaders from the provincial government, as well as the committee, the party committee. Now we give the floor to Li Xikui and Long Yongtu, former Minister of Commerce, and Li Weiliang, to present the flowers. China is known to be the nation that really stressed the importance of rites and rituals. And currently, you are watching the live stream of the 2022 memorial ceremony for Confucius. Currently, the guests are presenting flowers at the Confucian Temple. Each year, at the same time, the Confucian temples across the country will hold similar ceremonies in memory of Confucius. This one is held in Quzhou of Zhejiang Province. Among the participants, there are a lot of young kids representing the inheritance of Confucian's teachings. This one was held in Zhuxi, in Suixi of Guangdong Province. We can see that they are also performing similar dances to the one that is held in Shandong. In Gansu's ceremony, we can see the instrumental performance. So we can clearly see that he thoughts is not only part of China's history, but also our modern concepts and philosophy. This year, you can join all of these celebrations online, even if you cannot physically be at one of the ceremonies that are held worldwide. So, Professor, as far as I know, the temple of Confucius is not only a worshiping place. Is that correct? Yes. It is not only a hall to worship Confucius. In China, we also call the Confucius Heaven the temple for culture or for intellectuals. So it is a place for all intellects in the country, and also inside the temple, besides the statue of Confucius, there are also statues of his disciples, as well as some other sages of the Confucianism. Confucianism is not the individual thoughts of Confucius, but a collection of his thoughts along with his peers, the other thinkers, as well as his disciples. His thoughts and philosophy were being developed and innovated in the long history of China. The names of the predecessors and the followers are also worth remembering. Therefore, this kind of display of the Confucius temple is an embodiment of the inheritance of the good Chinese culture and the essence of Chinese philosophy. It's a place for China's intellectuals to celebrate and worship all of these sages as well as their wisdom. We are worshiping Confucius each year at the same time, but also we are not worshipping Confucius alone, but the great thinkers and philosophers that came after him. Now we will be inviting some representatives from all walks of life to contribute and pay their tribute to Confucius by presenting flowers. Dear viewers, once again, you are watching the 2022 live stream of the memorial ceremony for Confucius. Now we can see more representatives are presenting flowers and pay tribute to Confucius. Once again, you can join us online for the online worshipping ceremony of Confucius. You can join the ceremony by scanning the QR code on the screen. Now we will be inviting the municipal leaders to present flowers on behalf of the people in Qufu, the hometown of Confucius. Now, on to step 3, we will ask the provincial governor to read the memorial odes to Confucius. On September the 28th, 2002, we join the ceremony in memory of the great thinker and teacher Confucius. This year marks the 2573th anniversary of his birth date. We gather here at the hall of the Confucius Temple in Qufu. And we prepare some rituals in memory of Confucius. Here is the rituals. From the ancient time of China, we have seen the changing of destinies from Xia, Shang to Zhou. When the great thinker Confucius was born, at the time of chaos and endless wars and struggles during the time of the spring and autumn, people's livelihood were put at risk and their well-being was severely damaged. Confucius was born at the time of chaos and demise. And he has written the Analects, and also he has compiled the past findings and literatures. Because of his wisdom and teaching, all of the officials and intellects across the country listen to his teachings and act according to his principles in order to become more educated and learned person and become ones that can contribute to their families and to the country. His teachings concerning kindness, ethics, and sincerity and education are highly influential in the 2,000 years after even after he passed away. He's such a great thinker and philosopher in the Chinese history. And today we join here to hold celebrations in memory of Confucius. His thoughts will continue to exert influence on our doings today. We will continue to learn and to publicize his thoughts. His thoughts of a harmonious world is also our ideals today. Now, the fourth step of the ceremony, please all the guests bow to the great thinker Confucius.
请全体来宾整理衣冠，庄然肃立，面业
Please stand
先师，行居
and now bow to Confucius.
再鞠躬
One
三鞠
and
躬
two and three
礼
bows.
毕
End of rituals. I hereby declare the completion for the memorial ceremony for Confucius in 2022. Dear viewers, you were watching the memorial ceremony for Confucius just now, and we can see from the ceremony that the concept of harmony and benevolence is carried through. And that's the end for our live stream today. We will be seeing you next year.